10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9. Go SpaceX. Go Transporter 12.
What is up, everybody? Solomon here. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. So this was the Falcon 9 launch for the Transporter 12 mission from SpaceX. And notably within this, you do have WiseSat and Seal SQ, and they're one of 6 satellites being launched, which has Hedera technology integrated as well. Super awesome to kind of see. There's tons of initiatives to kind of get out here today. So I'm going to kind of hop through here. This was obviously a really big one. I'll walk through this one. We've got XRP essentially surpassing the market caps of BlackRock, Disney, and Nike. You have HBAR Foundation announcing something today as far as $3 billion worth of tokenized precious metals and luxury items, which should be notable to everybody here because I just did a video last week about RWA.XYZ and excluding stablecoins, about 15 billion total tokenized on in all of blockchain right now across all these different networks, excluding stablecoins. And that's 3 billion coming to Hedera, just on Hedera. So super awesome. There's tons of news to get into here, but start with the Falcon 9 launch and the Transporter 12 mission into orbit. You can see Hedera technology deployed within WiseKey and Seal SQ Corp satellite, which is the first of 6 for transactional Internet of Things and global connectivity. Here's the press release out of Genfinity as well. But this is transactional Internet of Things expansion. First advanced post-quantum satellite in partnership. Well, they put out, so I think it was WiseKey that put that they were in partnership with SpaceX. So don't take this as far as Hedera is partnered with SpaceX or any of that stuff. That stuff is not. There's been nothing released that says that. But I think it was WiseKey or WiseSat that did have that in one of their documentation pieces from like a week ago. You can read through this whole thing, but post-quantum cryptography, obviously Hedera's post-quantum, data privacy and neutrality. I think the best summation of all of this comes out of Carlos here, obviously with Seal SQ, WiseSat, WiseKey. Following the successful launch of yesterday, a new generation at WiseSat, we are excited to announce our upcoming launch plan for April of 2025. So again, like I said, there was one of 6 so far. There's more. This will feature a special WiseSat at Hedera, hashtag SealCoin edition, designed to enable crypto machine-to-machine and DePIN or decentralized physical infrastructure networks, transaction capabilities directly from space. And then really kind of this right here dives into the launch. So WiseKey's WiseSat satellite powered by Seal SQ post-quantum security successfully launched. You can see Hedera here. Additionally, the satellites feature WiseKey's Wise ID identity management system, a platform for authenticating and connecting devices, a Hedera distributed ledger technology, to provide a decentralized framework for maintaining data integrity and transparency across the network. So pretty cool stuff here. You can look across the crypto markets today, and man, we had so much fear in this space just a few days ago. Like I said, I think I did a video last week talking about zooming out, or maybe it was a post or whatever, but I honestly don't really look at crypto prices too much anymore after being here for however long. I mean, whatever's going to happen is going to happen anyways. I've stated my opinion on kind of the adoption rate of this industry. Even yesterday or 2 days ago, I missed a video yesterday. I did a video on the adoption rate of mobile, the internet, compared to crypto, which came out of a BlackRock document. I think crypto said 12 years. I think one of the other ones was 22 or 23 years. One of the other ones was like 15 or 16 to hit 300 million users, and crypto obviously surpassing that. So interesting to see all the news narratives around tanking prices and everything else. Bitcoin touching on like 90K just a couple of days ago, and it's back at right around 100K right now. So pretty interesting. And this is what I talked about before. XRP market cap surpasses Disney, Nike, and BlackRock. So XRP has recently surpassed market capitalization of several major companies, including BlackRock, Disney, and Nike, reaching a market cap of approximately $162 billion. This surge comes amid significant whale accumulation, a notable increase in large transactions, and speculation about possible SEC developments and a potential ETF listing, which we're going to get into here in a second. Analysts and market enthusiasts are discussing whether XRP's price could rise further, blah, 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 blah. It would be interesting to watch because XRP is sitting at number 3 right now, Ethereum number 2, obviously Bitcoin number 1. XRP has flipped Ethereum in the past. It will be interesting to see if that happens again. We'll get into more of the ETF stuff here in a second too, but this coming out of the HBAR Foundation, excited to announce that Vaultic and the World Gemological Institute have partnered to tokenize $3 billion worth of diamonds, gemstones, watches, and jewelry as real-world assets on the Hedera network. They put out a long thread about this. Here's the article from the HBAR Foundation. Partnership aiming to bring blockchain-based security and transparency to the luxury asset industry. UK's largest, most trusted gemstone certification lab to tokenize $3 billion worth of diamonds, gemstones, watches, and jewelry on the Hedera network. This partnership addresses some of the most pressing challenges in the luxury market, including fraud, inefficiency, lack of transparency, obviously, lack of liquidity. It's difficult, I'm sure, to get these luxury items sold sometimes. Obviously, you see these auctions and stuff like that, but as far as being able to have these things to be highly liquid, luxury goods and precious metals, certainly. I think the blockchain and DLT is just an obvious solution. It offers a unique opportunity to redefine how luxury goods are bought, sold, verified, and protected in the digital age. Pretty cool. Like I said, you can check out Vaultic's site at vaultic.com. You can check out the World Gemological Institute at web.wgitechglobal.com. And like I said before, this is saying $3 billion total real world assets on chain across all of crypto right now, excluding stablecoins, at 15 billion. So you're at like a fifth right there with just one integration. There was one that I mentioned from a different network. I think it was the end of last week that had 1 billion, and I think it was like real estate. I mean, just goes to show you how early this space really is. I did that video clip of Lehman Baird from when he was talking about DREC, and then just kind of wider and broader thoughts on the industry, talking about pretty much everything being tokenized in the future, including gamification. So you can look, XDC Network and Quincy and those guys just did a space today surrounding gamification and Web3 and crypto. That's an industry, gamification, as well as kind of the music industry, I think are two that we haven't really seen the adoption at all yet compared to like what exists out there traditionally. I mean, how many people are gamers, right, in the world? Tons. And same thing with like listening to music and the way that artists kind of get screwed out of royalties and everything else. I mean, I think blockchain and crypto DLT are certainly just natural fits there. We've seen a lot of projects, attempting to do it. I think one of the problems is like when you inject in a token, as kind of the fundamental use case within that in such a big industry, it kind of is hard to tackle the industry itself then, right? Because then you're just trying to like manage your token and do all this other stuff. But huge industries that I think are going to bring in a ton of value. Lehman had the example of he's like, you'll be able to have a laser sword that you take between games and it'll be yours and you'll have custody of it and all this stuff. 100% that's where it's going. And then he says, not your keys, not your crypto, not your laser sword. So I found it interesting. And yeah, check out this podcast if you're interested in gamification and Web3 and crypto, because I certainly think it's relevant. One thing I found kind of funny is, I think it was Axie Infinity, if I'm not mistaken. There have been like crypto games that have surpassed the market cap of the entire AAA gaming industry. Which kind of leads you to like, obviously there's a ton of potential there, but there's a lot of excess as well. Do I think that one crypto game is more, obviously the numbers are the numbers, but is more inherently valuable when you think about the possibility to kind of onboard everybody that is a gamer? So do I think one crypto game is more valuable than the entire AAA gaming industry? No. But I do think the entire AAA gaming industry, like 100%, like all games at some point in time, the majority of games will have blockchain or distributed ledger integration, and it will come down to just a better, it's got to just be a better gaming experience, right? Like it's really all about the why. It's like, why haven't we seen that adoption? It's because it makes the experience, I would argue, probably worse right now. for traditional games. People just literally want to buy a game and play the game with their friends. They don't want to have to learn how to use another wallet or learn how to do all this other stuff. But once, like we talked about a few days ago, once blockchain and crypto and DLT become almost invisible behind the scenes, and then you get that value add, no brainer, right? I wanted to share this. There's not really anything major in here, but I did think it was cool to see other chapters of the Linux Foundation, or LF, Decentralized Trust, putting out documentation. This is that Project Hyro, and Hedera's entire open source code base transitioning over into LF Decentralized Trust, all the tooling, everything. So when you think open source, this is essentially like open source on steroids. But you've got the founding premier members as Accenture, DTCC, Hedera, and Hitachi. You've got Ripple and everybody else, and all the banks and everybody else included, as well as associate members and kind of down below there. But I did think it was cool to see the Japan chapter putting out a document on SlideShare, which is cool. This I saw, we've seen rumors floating around for a little while, and I'm curious how this shakes out. It will be interesting to kind of watch, because I'm not saying that something like this is impossible, but I am also not saying that something like this is happening. I think these are all just kind of rumors right now. But I wouldn't be surprised to see more support of United States-based blockchain companies, United States-based digital assets, just based on what Trump's alluded to. However, that being said, I do think that for this space and for crypto to get mainstream adoption across the board, you've got to almost have like global standards and regulation in some way, shape, or form. But it's talking about basically tax-free for U.S. tokens. And I've seen a lot of articles about this. Trump's bold move could make crypto capital gains free. The U.S. token set to skyrocket. Not advocating for this post, but it obviously mentioning Cardano, Solana, Constellation. And then yesterday, we see the kind of the rumor mill starting up again from a lot of accounts. Trump to make Bitcoin, XRP, ADA, and HBAR tax-free. I've seen Algorand mixed into that. So long story short, we'll see what happens with this. I mean, it would be really interesting, and certainly not going to dismiss stuff like this. But again, rumors are rumors. So how much do you want to, kind of take stock in this stuff? I do think that Trump has said that he's going to encourage U.S. innovation. And it will be really interesting to watch how that stuff pans out. So think of the U.S. blockchain companies and U.S. I know these digital assets aren't really jurisdictional, but obviously the hype sells on Twitter and other platforms, right? Some other kind of news coming out yesterday, and we'll get into some more stuff here in a second, but I do think it's relevant when you see big companies like Sony launching a blockchain. Sony's layer 2, Sonium, goes live. And that being said, this I thought was super cool. And HBAR Bull, one of the guys that, is an OG in Hedera and just grinds so much for content. Interviewed Steve McClure, Greg Bell, and Eric Balchunas. If I mispronounced that, I apologize, for the deep dive into the proposed Canary Funds HBAR ETF. And they go through a couple of different things here. There's speculation around not only HBAR, but Solana. And there's one other one. Is it Ethereum? There's one other one I'm probably forgetting, or XRP. And yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. So Solana, XRP, HBAR. I certainly think we're going to see more financial products coming out of all the ecosystems. It'll be really interesting to see what kind of pans out. I don't want to play a ton in here, because I do want you to go and watch HBAR Bull's video, because he does a really great job interviewing, but I'll play a second.
Generation X and boomers out there, which just so happens to have some of the most money. What are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I don't want to talk too specifically to the HBAR ETF, but maybe I'll talk about ETFs in general. And, let's talk about the Bitcoin ETF, how important that was. It's actually, the primary focus of Canary is actually running hedge fund. And our hedge fund actually trades the ETF for Bitcoin over Bitcoin itself, because there's more volume, there's professional market makers in the game, and it's just easier to trade. So, we focus on, if there's an ETF available, we'd rather trade that. Now we still trade both, right? We still have, accounts open where we're trading direct tokens, direct Bitcoin, because we might want to do some things over the weekend. But generally, ETF just makes things easier. And whether you're a boomer or young person, it's so much easier to have a online brokerage account where you're trading these ETFs.
So accessibility, obviously huge, and what that's done for Bitcoin. So you can kind of make your own assumptions about what an ETF would do for HBAR, for XRP, for Solana, things like that. So it'll be really interesting to watch pan out. Again, you can see, there was kind of the fear stuff flushing across the entire space. I just am a big advocate for really zooming out and kind of looking at where this space is. And I do want to mention, shout out to Algorand, the Algorand community. They're delegated staking going live. Well, staking in general and delegated staking, and all the node operator type stuff going live. Algorand deploying version 4.0 tomorrow, which is today, Wednesday the 15th. Consensus upgrade takes about a week, so staking rewards go live about 6.5 days later. So shout out to Algorand. I know that a ton of people in the Algo community have been waiting on that. And then I've got 2 podcasts coming up. One, give a shout out to Crypto Airy for helping us to put this together. This is going to be a bigger one. A lot of different players from, with kind of tentacles out into a lot of different networks. Futureverse, Auto, Blockchain, Minima Global. So you'll see some layer 1s in here. Gearin Labs and Gearin Wallet, Catalyze Research, Omni Network, Axelar, which probably resonates with a lot of people from a lot of networks. I think they have like 60 plus L1 integrations. Hedera, certainly. We've seen XRP, things like that. Spend the Bits. So this should be a really cool space. This is going to be tomorrow. I'll try to drop the link in here, or you can just go to @Genfinity.io. It's the pinned post. That'll be a cool one. And then one that I haven't announced yet. But we talk about AI and agentic AI and all the other stuff coming down the pipeline about the convergence of blockchain and artificial intelligence. This upcoming Monday, I have a podcast with Deutsche Telekom, Near Protocol, and I'm going to forget the third one. Metapool, I think, is what it is. So that'll be really cool. Near, I haven't done anything with yet. Deutsche Telekom, I've done a couple of things with. And Metapool done a couple of things with as well, because they have kind of tentacles out into internet computer and some other stuff. So yeah, Deutsche Telekom space on Monday, state of the industry here. I've got a really big space that I think I just got word that we might be doing later this month as well. But I'll leave it at that until we do it. But yeah, awesome Falcon 9 launch. So Hedera tech or Hedera enabled tech in space as we speak. And cool to see a SpaceX launch. One of the payloads being a Hedera enabled satellite for identity, transactional Internet of Things. And then obviously the real world asset stuff is just absolutely massive. $3 billion to come to the Hedera network and tokenized of precious metals and luxury goods and things like that. And huge to see XRP as well, surpassing the market caps of Disney, Nike, BlackRock. Yeah, it's really interesting time in this space, guys. I missed the video yesterday. I said I'm going to try to do one every day during the weekdays, but I ended up finally going to the chiropractor. I got a really bad car accident in the tail end of 2023, and I've just been getting these horrible migraines. So I've been trying to figure out what is going to work to fix them. And I put a meme out there of like a guy giving a backbreaker in wrestling, because that's pretty much what my back sounded like yesterday on my neck. So anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And that being said, I will see you guys next time. Later.